you that know me personally, you know that I'm usually filled with words, but my life is changing. These children have changed my life. I see myself dedicating myself to them. I'm lucky to have been there and to have met them. And I really miss them a lot. The long-term volunteers are going to hopefully be back. Sandra is indefinite, but Sandra, Maria, and Beta will hopefully be back. We're welcoming anyone that wants to do long-term volunteer work as well. Eventually, we want to have groups go down as well. But one of the great things was that this past week, while down in Haiti, Teresa joined us. And when I was on my last trip and I mentioned to the long-term volunteers that Miss America is going to come down, they were a little hesitant because they never heard of her or knew her, and they said, "Oh, Miss America, we're not going to have electricity, and there's mosquitoes, and there's all these things, and dirty kids sometimes, and how's she going to handle it?" And I said, "I haven't met her yet, but she seems pretty great." And I was amazed at Teresa. From day one, she jumped in immediately with the kids. She got down and dirty painting. I think there's still paint all over her legs somewhere that we couldn't get off. She has been amazing, an amazing addition to our team. We are so lucky and blessed to have her. So without further ado, Miss America 2011, Teresa Stanley.
Thank you so much. Of course, they put me on right after the video. That made me cry. If you knew those children, you definitely miss them so, so much. As you can see, I had a fantastic time while I was in Haiti. It was absolutely wonderful. For those of you who don't know, we just returned yesterday, actually. We stayed there for a week. Christina and I went down on Friday, stayed an entire week, and just flew home. And so I just wanted to share with you some final numbers from my trip to Haiti. As Christina said, I am still trying to scrub the paint off my feet, but most of it is gone now. But the final numbers from my trip: 2, the number of airplanes it took for the trip there and back; 7, the number of days I spent in Haiti; 68, the final body count on mosquito bites. Counted 26 just on my left arm. At least 1,000 the times the power went out while we were there because of the old generator, which, by the way, is one of the things we will be needing to raise money for, is a new generator to keep the power running in both the orphanage and the house as well. Countless the times I was left speechless while I was there. 46, the number of children at the orphanage currently. Now that while we were there during the week, we brought one more home, Whitson, so there's officially 46. 46, the number of children who have stolen my heart. About 7,000, the amount of money it takes to run the orphanage each month. Endless, the number of other things, items, donations always needed there. Infinite, the possibilities for future growth, the possibilities to affect many more young lives. Now 4 is the number of points on the Miss America crown. I don't know if many of you had seen it over there. There are 4 points on the Miss America crown, and they stand for 4 things: style, success, scholarship, and service. And I think that out of those 4 things, service is the most important point. It has completely changed my life in every way. We were just talking about earlier today, the fact that I used to be very, very shy when I was young, extremely shy. I was homeschooled, I was the middle of 7 children, and I would not, for the life of me, do anything that involved more children than that. always liked doing things with my mom, with one-on-one type activities. I quit dance lessons because I couldn't be around kids my age. I continued with piano lessons because it was just my piano teacher and I. It was a one-on-one thing, so that worked. I was terrified of going to public school, so even though my parents gave me the opportunity, I refused and continued to be homeschooled. But throughout my high school years, I began to overcome that, and truly I think the major factor was volunteering and serving. That my parents always made sure that that was a priority in our lives, that we could not graduate high school from being homeschooled without a certain number of volunteer hours in our community. That it was always such a huge part of our life. And the moment that I started realizing that no matter how young I was, I could start affecting and impacting other lives, everything changed. Because it wasn't about me anymore. It wasn't about worrying what people thought of me or if I was going to fail or mess up, but it was truly about how I could help and serve others. And then all of those fears went away. All of that self-consciousness went away. And I've truly found that that's the case with service, and that's why I have been so honored to be a part of Cro-Haitian Relief Services and to experience the service that they're a part of in Haiti. Now, to help you understand how this, as Father was saying, how it began, is that he offered me the opportunity to do this fundraiser to go to Haiti, and I said, absolutely, sure, it'd be wonderful. But understand that during my year as Miss America, I served with countless organizations, nonprofits, causes, all sorts of different things, and all of them truly amazing, truly incredible. Many of them I'm continuing work with. But this was different. I thought that I was going to go to Haiti for a week and work with them, see what they do, and then come here, do the fundraiser, and that would be, one more thing that I could try to lend my name to and do whatever I could to support it. But that week changed my life. And it's not going to end here. Because the passion that was ignited within me is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And Haiti will be a part of my life forever. And this will be something that I will do whatever I can in any way possible to continue to help and serve in this capacity, because it's just truly amazing. And so I echo Christine, actually, that I offer any of you the opportunity to come to Haiti and see what is going on there. You would absolutely enjoy it. And hey, I'm 19 years old, so you're not too young. And Father Gio and we had many others there come. You're not too old, so no excuses, okay? No excuses. You can come. You can help, you can serve in any way possible and see the incredible work that's being done there. As I said, I fell in love with those 46 children. I started to realize that so many times in my life, and I think many of us do this, we see these pictures, we hear these stories, and it's just kind of a mass, a group, that we think, oh, let's try to help them. When you experience firsthand working with these children day in and day out, you realize every single one of them is an individual, and you think about their future. And I think about how in my family, even with just the 7 of us, my parents love each and every one of us so much and care for our future and want to help us live up to our potential. And you think that God has a plan for every single one of those children. And Father Gio has truly saved their lives, that many of them would not be here today without the services that he's providing for them there. And you think there's a reason for that. There's a reason that they're here today. There's a reason that this work is being done. Because the possibilities are infinite. What these children may become, what they can do in the future. God has a plan for each and every one of their lives. And he has a plan for each and every one of our lives. And sometimes we forget that. At various ages, sometimes as you get older, you think that you have done your life's work. No, it is never ending. He always has something new in store for you. And I think something important to know about Haiti in general is so oftentimes we only hear about the poverty, the devastation, the crime, the violence, whatever it may be. All of that absolutely exists in the country, but there's also a whole other side that is absolutely incredible.
And we were able to go to the coast, go to the beach, and see all that this incredible, beautiful country has to offer. That it is truly an amazing place. And it is worth rebuilding, it is worth restoring, because there is so much there. They have so many resources, it's absolutely incredible. The people are amazing, so wonderful. We made friends with so many. When we went to the beach, we took a tap-tap, rode in the back of a truck, about an hour out to the beach, took one of the kids, and Christina met a Haitian boy there that was 15 that said he couldn't swim, so she was teaching him how to swim in the ocean. And then to thank her, he made her a bracelet, and then some of the other guys came over and we were talking with them, and they taught me how to make a bracelet too. So one of the boys made me half of the bracelet, and I made the other half. I think I did a very good job. But we learned how to make these bracelets. They sat there and chatted with us. They were sitting there reading their Bible on the beach. They asked if we were Christians. It was absolutely incredible to just make a friendship so quickly, because they are so friendly, warm, hospitable, open. It was amazing. And again, as we said, with the children, the same way. Anybody who comes there, they immediately run to you. They cling to your legs. They want you to hold them. They just want to be around people and feel that love. And that was amazing to experience. That so many times here in the States, people aren't like that, that's for sure. If you go up to a stranger and try to hug them, don't think you'd get a great response. Maybe it'd be a little different if I did, but, you know, kidding. But I think more than anything, I've really started to see things in different perspective. And that you start to truly think about what matters in life and reprioritize. That this was something that I continually had to keep in mind and struggled with through my year as Miss America as well, because you start to get used to a different way of life. And during that year, and even continually this year now too, as I continue basically the same things that I was doing as Miss America, is you get used to an elevated way of life, that people treat you a certain way, give you certain things, whatever it may be. And it was continually a struggle throughout the year to keep that humility, to continue to keep things in perspective, remember what is important, and not to get an inflated head. But my family made sure to always make sure that I stayed humble throughout the year. About a week after I won Miss America, my mother called me and informed me that she had moved me out of my bedroom and moved my sister in. That's what happens when you're from a big family. You're not sad, and you miss your older sibling because they left. You celebrate that you have more room in the house and you get your own bedroom now. So they were very excited. They quickly expanded, and I was kicked out. So I was literally homeless. Still am, actually. So when I finally got to go home, just this year, I go home and realized I don't have a place to sleep. So I asked my dad, where am I going to sleep while I'm here? And he pointed to a mattress on the basement floor and handed me the sheets to make it with. So they make sure to keep me in my place, keep me humble. But I think even that was a totally different perspective, a totally different story than what I've now experienced, that you realize how much you can do without. You realize how much you can share of your own blessings to help others. And I've absolutely found that through experiencing the happiness and joy that these children have at an orphanage where they have so little. How content, how joyous, how happy can all of us be with whatever we have, with whatever our circumstances may be. So it's completely continued to change my mind as I think about that, and I think a poem that I'd like to share with you kind of encompasses that idea, and it's called The Dash by Linda Ellis. It says, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone, from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth, and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. Now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? I think that's something all of us can think about. To consider at the end of your life what truly matters. For many, it is family, friends. For me, it is serving my God and doing all that I can to represent Him and bring glory and honor to Him, to bring others to Him. And that includes any way possible to reach others. Whether in this country or other countries, any person that we can reach through our actions and through what we do. With that in mind, again, to echo Father Gio's words, I think it truly is a calling, and you know if this is something that you are being called to, being led to. There are so many things that together that we can work on to improve. There are endless possibilities there. The compound that we have has the orphanage and the house right now, but there's plenty of land to continue growth and expansion and future projects. As I said, we need new generators. The electricity goes out all of the time. It would also be very beneficial to have a vehicle there for the children. They have 24 children who are going to school currently, and they have to rent a tap-tap every time to bring them to school. And so having a vehicle available for them would end up saving money in the long run, but would be a wonderful resource to have there. And actually, I don't know if anybody is interested, but hopefully in the coming months you can help me publicize this as well, that realizing this as we were there talking with Sandra and the girls about the fact that they need a vehicle and that we need to raise money for that. I thought about the fact that when I came back from Miss America my year, I didn't have a vehicle, and so I knew I needed to buy one. So I went to the dealership and got a cute car that I really liked, that the top comes down and everything, and I started realizing, why do I need that when they don't even have one vehicle? And so I will be auctioning off my car and getting something much, much less, and using the money to buy a vehicle for them. So I'd like to, over the next couple months, I will be publicizing this through an online auction, which will be on my Facebook, on the website, etc. But it's a 2009 VW EOS. It's a hardtop convertible. The gas mileage is incredible. So if you know anybody who is either looking for a vehicle or would be interested in owning Miss America's car, there will be that auction coming up soon. So I would highly encourage you to continue to stay updated on the website. On my website, teresascanlon.com, you can sign up for newsletter updates, which I'll also be sending out. So I would encourage all of you to join me in helping with that when I send out those updates and things, to forward them to your friends, whatever it may be. I would love to get a large amount of money from that to be able to buy a vehicle for them at the orphanage. There are many other things needed as well, and so the opportunities are just endless. We are always open to ideas, to volunteers, to donations, whatever it may be. But I encourage you to think about ways that you might be able to serve in your own life. Things that you might be able to change. Just little things. To be able to share what you have with others. To think, I don't need this when they don't even have that. To continue to think of ways you might do that in your own life, because it truly does change their lives in a way that you wouldn't even imagine. Now, as we talk about all of these big projects, all of these big things, building more buildings at the compound, building a school, whatever it may be, it can seem very overwhelming sometimes. It costs almost $7,000 to keep the orphanage running every month. And that's just what we have going now, and we'd like to expand. Sometimes it's a struggle to even find that.
And so sometimes it can feel very overwhelming, like it's too big for us. That's because it is, but it's not too big for him. So what we can't do, God can. And I think that if you have always been successful in your life, if you have always reached everything you ever set out to do, you haven't been reaching high enough. Because it's not about what you can do by your own power, it's what God can do through you and through us. And I've truly found that in my own life. That I never expected to win Miss America in the first place. Certainly never expected to win at 17 years old and be the first Miss Nebraska to win Miss America. And probably, I believe, as far as we know, the first Cro-Haitian American to win Miss America.